Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing great. This is gonna be your Divine Masculine reading. So we're gonna dive deeper into where the masculines are right now on their journey. We'll ask a question of today is gonna be a little bit different format actually. It will still be a 3-question read, but the questions are gonna be, first of all, where do they feel that they've gained some success, where they feel more confident. The second one is gonna be what feels like a block or a challenge right now. And the third is going to be what is the advice, what is the outlook for the future. So that would be actually very useful for both feminines and masculines watching. I know that most of you guys are the cross watchers, but this is definitely going to be useful for both collectives. And of course, at the end, I'll put some messages from Divine Masculines to Divine Feminines, because I know that most of you are the cross watchers, let's be honest. So that's happening. And we will start with a quick oracle message. I will, as tradition continues, I will pull a message for each of the twins. And we will start with Divine Feminines watching, and then we'll get the message for Divine Masculines, and we'll continue with the masculine energy. So let's get started. We'll start with the feminine message. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. There are ways to donate, by the way, to the channel in the description box. There's an Amazon wish list, but I would say for that one, if you want to get me something, message me first. That would be the ideal way, I would say, because I'm traveling right now, it's a little tricky with my delivery address, but there are always ways, so we can figure it out. Yeah, I appreciate all of those, and of course requests for personal readings. They are always appreciated. So the message for the feminines is the parents today. This is the angel therapy deck for those who are not familiar with my decks. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother and father. This is beautiful. And if you feel called, so you can actually ask for specific guidance or specific healing in the area where you feel like you, I don't know, haven't forgiven or haven't understood why, what, or somehow you feel like you've been treated poorly. This is a good time for that. By the way, I forgot to mention, but we have a new moon coming up. It's going to be a new moon in Scorpio, and I am going to be talking about it, of course. It's going to come out in a couple of days. The new moon itself is happening at like 1 a.m. on Thursday. So if you're in Europe or Asia, for you, it's going to be on Wednesday. So that's why I'm aiming to post the video on Tuesday, so you have some time. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And as always, I'm going to be doing a video there will be a message for each zodiac sign. I'll have timestamps, so if you're new, you stumble upon this reading, please subscribe so you don't miss it. All right, now let's get to the masculines. Masculines, your message is workshops and seminars. Attending and giving speeches is part of your spiritual path and purpose. Be open to teaching and learning. That's very interesting, right? Because traditionally we feel like the teacher needs to be an expert in the field, and it's some kind of a level of authority, right? But the truth is that regardless at what point you're calling yourself a teacher, and it can be a lot sooner than you think, it's important to continue having that learning mindset, continue being curious and interested and bringing something new and experimenting and keeping an open mind on what you already know, the techniques maybe that you use, maybe the audience that you're used to, or whatever applies. All right. Are you giving speeches, Divine Masculine? So maybe it's something that you've been dreading and people are telling you better start doing this, but you haven't. This is your sign to start doing it. Just saying. All right. I'm having you stuck with the Light Seers Tarot because I'm traveling and I needed to travel light, so These and Delicious Tarot are the only tarot decks that I brought with me, but they are very good, so hopefully you're not bored yet. Okay, so the first question is, where do the masculines feel more confidence and they feel like they've gained success recently? We have the Hermit. I will comment on this after I lay everything out. Two of Cups. Very interesting. And the Strengths. Nice. Now, for the second question, we're going to ask, where do they feel blocked? Or they just can't get through a certain limiting belief or whatever it is. Like, some of them may not be aware that there is a limiting belief, right? But just something is not working out in life. Queen of Wands. Divine Feminine comes in the picture. Five of Cups. That's that grieving and forgiveness. And Three of Wands. Forgiveness is just on my mind because I was just recording the card of the day message and it was about forgiveness. So watch that. And then finally, the third one is what's coming up in the future, what to look out for. Seven of Wands. Knight of Swords. The Chariot. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, I think we saw it in the last twin flame reading that the masculines are dreaming about having that everything with their life partner, whether they already know they've met their divine feminine or they're still not sure who is it, how is it. Regardless, they are thinking about it. So for those feminines who don't know your DM yet, like you don't have anyone on the horizon, but one way or another you know that you're a twin, know that wherever your DM is, they're thinking about it. Yes, they want to have that ultimate, family home, that everything was their life partner. But the question, the devil is in the details, right? The question is, how do I get there? Who is this person going to be? How do I get there? When? How do we do this whole thing, right? So first, let's talk about successes. The Hermit, Two of Cups, and the Strengths is a really great aspect because this is about spirituality and energetic connection. With God really was the Hermit here, and also with other people with Two of Cups here. And it's the courage to admit when it's true and when it's not, right? So it's not like, okay, I just feel like it's my responsibility to have this person in my life to take care of them, or this person isn't really my cup of tea, but from practical aspect, I should still be in touch with them, or something of that sort, or I don't know, this guy is great at what he does, but every time we meet he makes me feel inferior, right? But he's an expert in his field, so that's why I keep coming to that same guy. Right now it's like there is a lot more honesty and courage, first of all, to acknowledge where it serves, where it doesn't, on the energy level, not just looking at paper, on paper, like it looks good, so I must stick with this. It's like, no, how does it feel? Recognizing the connection or the lack of that connection on the soul level, on the energy level, right? More than anything, it's about courage to be able to say no if it's not true, if there is no vibe, no synchronicity, no gel. Where are the challenges and blocks? We see Queen of Wands, Five of Cups, and Three of Wands. So divine masculines, of course, this is a continuation of the topic about divine feminine. They see divine feminine, whether it's a specific one that they've already recognized as their person, or just generally feminines being so strong and brave in pursuing their passion, what they love, speaking honestly about what's happening in their life, good and bad. And they don't feel like they match that. They don't feel like they're ready to do the same. For them, it's always like a big deal. It's always a big deal to think of, everything and everyone who's drawn them, like with the role that they played, right? And that becomes somewhat it's not that it's dishonest, but it's that story becomes tainted, right, with the past hurt and anger, right, and unresolved conflict that stays there. Also, it's about the dreams and the vision that doesn't get realized, right? So the masculines keep working on their manifestation process, the techniques, the knowledge, the actual content of what they're trying to manifest. And they feel like they're putting in the effort, but somehow it's not working out. Something is not happening. And for some of them, I'm hearing immediately, for those DMs who are watching, that it's not really that you haven't taken the right steps, right? Or you're not doing enough. It's more about divine timing for certain things to play out. It doesn't just depend on you. There are forces greater than yourself that need to be at play to bring all the people and circumstances together for that to work out. And it's taken some time, right? So it's like, watching the water boil or something. When you're actually sitting there watching, it takes forever, right? So I don't want to say make yourself useful as if you're not doing that now, but focus on something else, right? And I'm not saying abandon the dream, right? But you send it to the universe, continue taking aligned action, and have that faith that it's coming, it's happening. I spoke about the alignment between action and thoughts in one of my recent Twin Flame videos, so please go and check it out. It was also in Mercury retrograde video, because just a reminder, we are in Mercury retrograde and communication can be tricky. But one of the aspects to look at, because the retrograde is asking us to reflect and introspect of where we are with our communication patterns. One of the axis perspectives is to look at the coherence between, your thoughts, words, right? That's the same kind of realm as the 4D, and your action, the 3D, right? Through 5D as well, if you have access to that on the conscious level, but at least between 4D and 3D, how do they resonate and how do they align between each other? Or if you're saying one thing and you're doing something else, there you go, that could be the problem. And finally, what is to expect? 7 of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the Chariot. Yeah, so it's up to you really to make a decision on how slow or how fast you want to go after your passion, your mission, whatever you have is the next step. But the direction is still going to be, you're going to be guided with the direction, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel and figure out all the details, right? You will be shown the direction of where to go next, what makes sense, what is relevant. You just need to follow the signs, follow that brick yellow road, our yellow brick road. Right? So it's important to be able to embrace both the feminine aspect of surrender and observation and curiosity, and also the masculine energy of being able to get all your energy together and just go for it, right? Have that courage and have that strength and have that power to just go at it, right? Both are going to be necessary. It's not either or, it's both. Okay, last but not least, a little treat for Divine Feminines watching, a message from Divine Masculine Collective to Divine Feminines. For those who are watching, what is the message from Divine Masculine at this point regarding the relationship, the connection? What do they need feminines to know? We have King of Swords, clarified by 3 of Pentacles and 5 of Swords. So in a nutshell, I mean, it's interesting that King of Swords came out right after I was talking so much about Mercury retrograde and communication, right? Because King of Swords is about communication. Yeah, so the King of Swords wants you to know, Divine Masculines, that, with all honesty, the masculines have perfected the way that they can sweet talk someone, how they can manipulate the situation in a certain way, right? With the way that they speak, with the way that they appear, right? And now it's like this they understand that it doesn't help long term, right? And doesn't feel good either. So they are working. You see, this is like in this Three of Pentacles, there isn't anybody else. So it's between them and their God. They are working on the new strategy, the new technique, the new policy. How do I negotiate in a healthier way, right? That doesn't come from what, somebody taught me. I learned from someone how to get what I want, no matter what. How to play to people's either weaknesses or, basically tell them what they want to hear. So there is a certain amount of healing that is taking place here. And the masculine is saying, yeah, and maybe I've even spoken those sweet nothings to you and then, or promised you something, and then I didn't make it happen. But I'm working on it. It's just something that was happening automatically for me, just like the way I've been brought up and the way that I found it to work for me in my younger days, right? And now it's a process to reconsider how do I do it, to be very aware, very conscious of how to solve a certain issue. And again, reminder that from the masculines is the highest priority goal to solve an issue as soon as it appears, right? So a lot of times the means that they use may not be as healthy, right? But masculines want to change things around, and 5 is actually also about change. So they are being pushed towards something different and they want to figure it out. But even they understand that it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time. But they want to show up to you or in front of you in that new energy where they can speak more honestly and be more vulnerable without necessarily planning it as a strategy and without fearing of, how it may impact your relationship, your communication. What are you going to think of them? Are you going to walk away after that, right? Like trying to let go of those fears and overthinking. Okay, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope this was useful to you. If yes, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye.